Hello, my YouTube family. I'm back. Hello. Can I just acknowledge my new subbies? Wow. You guys made a decision to hit the subscribe button because you wanted to be a part of my journey. Those of you who have been my subbies throughout the duration of my channels, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're new to my channel and you like my video, hit the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that red button and you too can become a part of my family. I have been AWOL for about 18 months. Thank you for those of you who have contacted me via my email, my Instagram, my Facebook, and just wondered, where are you? Are you all right? Is things okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you for reaching out. So, I'm going to try not to talk too long. That's all I'm going to say, because I can get into little details and get all wordy. So bear with me. And I'm going to say thank you before I even get started. Okay, let's get right into it. Let me start out by saying that the journey, the challenges, and the heartbreaks over the past 18 months, I will say they will probably flare up as I speak, so I just want to ask for forgiveness beforehand. Let's get started with my husband. In August, his job of 30 years with a cable company. He was without work for 9 months. His brother, who lived locally, contacted us and said that there was an opening at his facility, which is a hospital, for a driver. And this driver would be driving patients from one location to the other. So my husband took the job. It did not pay well, and it was an hour away. But he, as I said, he took the job. During this time, my daughter, my only daughter, was pregnant, and the baby, my first grandbaby, was due in May, the 27th of 2017. Of course, being my first, I did travel to be with her. Her and her husband lived in Los Angeles, so I commuted from Houston to Los Angeles to be with her, to take care of her and the baby. We thought that she was going to be able to have the baby vaginally. She did not. She had a C-section. So mothers, daughters, those of you who have children who's had C-sections, you know it is not an overnight process. So I was with her for 3 months out in Los Angeles. It was a moment of joy and challenging, and I could go on and on about the challenges being there. So while there, I received a call from my mother that my dad had become very ill. And I shared with her, well, you know, that, I'm here with my daughter. She goes, yeah, just called to let you know that your dad is very sick and you just needed to be aware. Okay, all right. We prayed for him, and the church gathered together and prayed for him, and all the things that come with hoping that he got better. Well, as the weeks progressed, I got another call from my sister that dad is not going to make it. Let's say this was like the middle of June. I had been in California maybe a month, and so baby born, got the call, talked to my husband about the whole thing. I'm at the airport getting ready to board the plane. I got a call from my sister and said that my dad didn't make it. didn't get a chance to say my goodbyes to my dad. I lose my composure, and God is such a comforting God. He really is. He's an amazing comforter. There are people I didn't know came around and just asked, hey, is everything okay? I shared with them what happened, and these people prayed for me and my family. I'm sorry. I need a minute. Okay. Tears and eyelashes just don't go together. All right, I board the plane, get home. My stepsister picks me up. We get to my mother's house, and if you've ever had someone pass in your family, you know it's not a good feeling. However, being the oldest of 6, I stayed there with my mom and relatives and all those that could stay as long as they could. I was there for 2 weeks. While I'm there taking care of the formalities of burial and death and things of that nature, I received a call from my son-in-law. Okay, so the time difference between LA and Florida is 3 hours. So let's say it's 12 o'clock in LA and it's 3 o'clock in Florida. So I received this call and I can't make out what he's saying. And I'm like, slow down, you got me all stirred up. But you couldn't hear it in the phone from me. You heard him just kind of being hysterical a little bit. And I only can tell you that God's strength was there. Well, he rushed my daughter to the emergency room that night, and he was explaining to me that she was vomiting and she just was in a bad situation, you know what to do. And so he rushed her to the emergency room. Kind of find out after everything was said and done in there, I calmed down with him. He finally told me that the doctors came out and told him that she had a relapse. Am I reliving this thing? This was 18 months ago. I need to calm down. I have to say, honestly, I may have not mourned like I should have for my dad, and then this happened, and I'm feeling the effects right now. So, wow. A week went by. She came home. I'm still at my mom's. I told him I'll be there as soon as I can, which I did. I left my mom, flew back to Los Angeles to be with her for another month. So I'm taking care of everything, everybody, just doing what you do. I'm sure some of y'all can relate as being the oldest child or second to the oldest, and you have that knack of wanting to take care of. And I can only tell you it's God's strength. It was God's strength that got me through all of that. The 4th of July is now here. We are healing, and the baby's doing great. My daughter's doing good. My son-in-law is grilling and fireworks and, you know, all the things that come with celebrating the 4th, and we are all just regrouping. And I get a call from my husband. I said, okay, hi. He said, baby. And when he sounds like that, you know I need to sit down. He told me that we need to sell our home. Our house was 4-bedroom home, 2.5-car size garage. We put a whole lot of upgrade in the kitchen, the master bedroom, bathroom, weight room. We added a deck to the backyard, above the ground pool. We just did a lot of upgrading, but that's okay, you know. It's just things. However, I I I was floored that he gave me no choice but to say yes. And honestly, when I thought about it, I said, you know, it's just a house. It's just a house. So I'm still in Los Angeles. Haven't left to come home yet. And I finally got back on the plane to be home with my husband on the 17th of July. So I was gone like the middle of May to the middle of July. And so, is that longer than 3 months? Anyway, got home. He had already got a realtor. She shows up at our house, explained to us all the things that come with selling our home, where we needed to declutter, restage, you know, to make the house presentable to sell. So we did that. By doing so, I'm home and doing what I do when it comes to that. And I decided I needed to do something. I didn't do any videos. I just was relaxing because I had been through so much in the past 3.5, almost 4 months, that I didn't really want to do anything. I was just like, ugh. So I decided to go shopping. I did. I love Home Depot. So while there, I saw a sign that said they were hiring. Went to the counter, asked them about what's the process of, you know, getting a job, part-time job, just something to do outside of the home. And they told me I got hired on the spot. That was a blessing. I enjoyed working there. So the house is being looked at. People are coming in, taking a look. And, you know, if you ever sold a house, you know how the realtor will give you a call to tell you about, you know, what people say about your home or don't like or dislike or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, did y'all hear about a hurricane that hit Houston? His name was Harvey. Yeah. Well, Harvey hit in August. Our house, of course, was not being seen. There was how many gallons of water? I think the news said 10 tons of water dropped in the city of Houston. So me being employed at the Home Depot, I was stuck. I couldn't leave. Our home was never damaged. We never got any flooding, but the surrounding areas, people's homes were flooded. And as you have watched or did watch on the news, downtown Houston and the surrounding areas was underwater. So I was stuck at home for 5 to 7 days. And prior to this flood, I had mentioned to a baby, maybe we should go and take a look at some apartments and some townhouses or something, you know, just to see what's out there. I had a list of about 15 townhouses, including apartments, and we saw them, and I scratched off those that I didn't like, but I ended up with 5. There was one that I just could not live without. I really wanted to be there, really wanted to live there. So that was one, and then I categorized or numbered in order the other 4. Hurricane hit, is over, 7-8 days is done. The water's receded, people are able to get out and things of that nature. And I asked baby, who is my husband, hey, you want to go and take a look at those 5 places that I've marked down that has potential of us moving into? Okay, so our house still hadn't sold. He said, sure, let's go. So I know God put it in my heart to walk by faith and not by sight. So we did. We went. 3 of the 5 places, and I say 3 of the 5 places were underwater. Just think if we didn't have that storm and I chose one of those 3, you know, we would have had to relocate. The surrounding areas that did not flood, people needed a place to stay. It was told that it was said that people who were looking for apartments, they were told that there is no availability for 6 months out. So I walked up, said I wanted a place to live and I needed it immediately because my house was flooded. They would say to me, I'm sorry, we don't have anything available for 6 months out. That's just how bad it was. Anyway, so we narrowed it down to 3, obviously, and to the 2 that was left. We drove up to one and she gave us that very message. The first one that I liked, we drove up to, and as a matter of fact, there was a couple ahead of us that walked up to the leasing office before we did, and she met them and said, we don't have anything available to November the 1st. And I thought, okay, that's doable. That couple left. We approached her and I said, I couldn't help but overhear you saying that you wouldn't have anything available to November the 1st. And she said, yes, that is correct, November the 1st. And we explained to her that we had no damage to our home. And she asked us about, were we a part of the flood? And I told her no. My husband was, stood up like a rooster and said, hey, we're trying to sell our house. It hasn't sold yet. And I had shared with him prior to us going out that God has said that we should walk by faith and not by sight. And so we pursued this apartment. We filled out the application, gave up our deposit, and our house still hadn't sold. Here it is, September. People were coming and going and nothing. We were at dinner one night and I said to him, I had a dream that there was this family, and I can't tell you how many kids they have, but this woman is going to love our home. And there's going to be absolutely nothing going to keep her from moving into our house. And he said, okay, baby. And he just kind of looked at me like, okay. Anyway, I don't want to get too involved in the details, I'm trying to move it along. So here it is, October, and nothing. So the end of September, October 1st, nothing. All of a sudden, we get a call from the realtor saying, I have this family and this lady has described your house to the T. And I'm like, okay, when do you want her to come over? And she said, they have a window of this day, this time, can y'all? And we said, yes, we can. As we were leaving this particular day and time, they were coming in, we were going out. I was so excited. You would have thought I won $1 million from the lottery, which I don't play. But I was so excited because I felt like this was the family. Never met them prior to signing. Okay, so let me back up a minute. This is the middle of October and they're looking. The realtor came back, told us, yes, this woman said, yes, 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 I want this house. The downside of it is their house had to sell before they could buy our house. I said, okay, my God can do all things. He isn't in the business of miracles. And my husband looked at me again and said, okay. Okay. I'm getting too excited. Middle of October, there was a man and woman. Did they have kids? I don't know. But the story goes that this husband and wife lived near downtown and they lost their home completely. They lost everything because of the flood. She did not want to live near downtown anymore. So she said, let's go west. So again, the place where we lived in Belleville was an hour and a half away from downtown. So it was west. She did her research, went west, and found this family's house. Fell in love with this family's house. Are you getting where I'm going? So they did whatever it took to get in this family's house. Her house sold Therefore, she wanted my house. Their house sold and our house sold. He gets all the glory, all of it, every ounce of it. We signed the paperwork. Let's say it was the 18th, the 19th, hadn't closed yet. Doing the paperwork, getting the paperwork together, all of that. Sign the paperwork. We meet. I meet the lady and the couple. They meet the couple. They're all there at the signing office. Okay, they're all there at the signing office. I meet the couple who bought their house. We eventually meet the family that bought our house, and I knew it. I just saw them before we walked in the office, and I said, that's the family. That's the family. I almost was in tears. So I'm going back to work, and I'm only there for maybe 3 or 4 days. I get a call from my husband while I'm at work, and he says, you won't believe this, but I got a promotion. What? What did you say? I said, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, so you get the call, get home, and we are moving stuff. I mean, giving away stuff, selling stuff, yard sales, just 4-bedroom house stuff down to a 2. Here it is, the 30th, and everything is completely cleared out. And I wish I could add some pictures, but I'm afraid my video would be even longer if I added some pictures. So just trust me. And maybe in a couple videos going forward, I might add a picture or 2 of some of this. Here it is, the 31st. We all meet at the office. We actually are signing. We contact the apartment, townhouse, and tell them our house is sold. And she says, okay, the keys will be such and such. And so the 30th, the 31st, we are loading up the truck. Well, guess what? So is the family loading up their truck. And so is the couple loading up as well what they had left. So that everybody was moving on the 31st of October. Everything happened so fast. So fast. He gets all the glory. Okay. There's so much more I want to add to that, but I won't. I'm going to stop. We move in our apartment. We are there 6 months. My husband gets another promotion. The facility where he started out opened up a new facility in another location, which was an hour away. So we move out of that first apartment to an apartment that we're in right now. He is now overseeing the facility that was built where our new apartment is. He is so good. He's so good. Won't he do it? That's all I gotta say. So I could not make videos. I couldn't keep up what was going on in my life this past 18 months, but I thought I'd come out here and share. I'm sorry again, it was a little long, but I wanted to share a little bit about what was going on in my life. The challenges, the stress, the heartbreaks, and the things that happened in my life. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and hanging in with me on this lengthy video. You are an amazing person. If you like my video, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And everyone, have a wonderful and blessed day. I'll see you at my next video. Bye for now.